kills the workers. Just like they told people, oh, the dust is safe to breathe, the asbestos isn't a problem at ground zero, and said don't wear respirators because it'll scare the public and we can't open Wall Street again. And then they tried to block for 9 years. We finally got it. Health care for the heroes of 9/11. Incredible. This shows the mindset of the cold-blooded people that run society, how ruthless, how cutthroat they are. So no wonder the EPA just said, you know, we're going to raise safe levels of radiation between 100 and 100,000 times, depending on the isotope, what we previously said was safe. Oh, radiation's going way up because of Fukushima and other big disasters like Los Alamos facility with fires all over their nuclear testing area. And that's in the news, by the way. I can take it to mainstream news admitting danger of radiation release. Residents fear radioactive smoke. You bet. I mean, I may have to move to the southern hemisphere as much as happening because this is all going on in the northern hemisphere. And they're telling me radiation's safe. They don't even tell folks to stay away from the milk and the rest of it. But I digress here. That's Yahoo News reporting on that, AP. Now, I've had a chance to hear a lady and read her writings, and I think she's one of the most eloquent people to kind of chronicle all of what the TSA is doing. And they play arrogant games. They said in November and then again in April of this year that, oh, we've stopped groping kids 12 and under. They never stopped. They said, again, we're stopping groping. It's a military tactic to claim they're stopping something when it's continuing. Then they said, we didn't make that lady take her diaper off. We said, take it off or you can't fly. It's all these semantical games. So there's calls for Pistoli to step down. Becky Akers is a journalist who writes for Lou Rockwell, American Daily, Herald, Campaign for Liberty, The New American, The Independent Review, the Freeman, Barron's, the Christian Science Monitor, the Washington, New York, Denver Post, Ottawa Citizen, Military History, American History, and many other publications and websites. And she's just absolutely amazing the way she breaks down and chronicles these people. And we're going to have her for the rest of the hour. We're going to break here in a few minutes. But Becky, please, you've got the floor for the next 30 minutes or so. Then I want to open the phones up for victims of TSA to call in and talk to you. The toll-free number to join us is 800-259-9231. But Becky, what got you on the trail of the TSA?
Well, Alex, I have to first of all thank you and the other activists that turned out in Austin, and I just loved your demonstration at the State House. That was just wonderful. So I was cheering you on from in front of my computer screen. I hate the TSA with every fiber of my being, and probably the reason I most hated it is its complete unconstitutionality. This is something that the founders could not, in their most horrible nightmares, ever have conceived, that American citizens would be sexually assaulted at the airport by their government before they simply get on a plane. This is the very definition of tyranny. This is outrageous. At no point in world history has any regime, no matter how brutal or totalitarian, ever sexually assaulted mass numbers of its citizens. This is completely unprecedented, and it is to our shame that this is currently going on.
Do you agree with my analysis that it's about federalizing not just the airports but the streets of America and breaking our will, that this is prisoner concentration camp induction training?
Oh, absolutely. And in fact, anytime I hear somebody say that the TSA doesn't work, I want to correct the person and say, actually, it works just fine. It's doing precisely what it was set up to do. It's quashing dissent. Just go to the airport and watch people in line, how they keep their eyes down. They don't give any lip to the screeners, no matter how abusive the screeners become. All they want to do is get through the checkpoint and onto their flight. So TSA succeeds marvelously at what it's really all about, and that is subjugating us. Does it succeed at security? Absolutely not. In fact, TSA is downright dangerous. And that's something all of us should continue to hype and to study, because polls consistently show that those Americans who still are in favor of the TSA hold that position solely because they've swallowed the propaganda that it protects us and that there are terrorists behind every bush and we need the TSA to rout them out. Actually, TSA has never anywhere in the world uncovered a single terrorist in the absence of actual bad guys.
Becky, stay there. Let's break down their crimes, their activities. Let's chronicle it all on the other side. We'll be right back.
Since 2007, the Federal Reserve and the U.S. government have injected as much as $20 trillion into the economies of the world, and yet the globe's economies continue to contract. Our government is borrowing $58,000 per second. If they stop spending, the economy collapses. If they continue spending, the economy collapses. And if they raise interest rates, the economy collapses. Prepare now. Call Ready Reserve Foods and put your plan together with quality, storable food. Ready Reserve Foods has been in business canning the finest and dehydrated foods for nearly 40 years. We control the quality from start to finish with double enameled, nitrogen-packed cans for maximum shelf life. Choose from a variety of pre-selected packages or customize your own plan and order exactly what you need. Call today for a free catalog at 800-453-2202. That's 1-800-453-2202 or visit ReadyReserveFoods.com. Factory direct, wholesale pricing from ReadyReserveFoods.com.
Hi, I'm Mark Craighead, founder of Crossbreed Holsters. I designed our top-selling holster, the Super Tuck Deluxe, to solve the problems of being poked, pinched, and gouged while carrying concealed. The Super Tuck Deluxe is the most comfortable, most concealable holster on the market today. We offer a 2-week free trial and a lifetime warranty.
Visit us at crossbreedholsters.com. Don't forget, crossbreedholsters.com.
235 years ago, our forefathers signed the Declaration of Independence to escape tyranny and oppression. Today, there is a need to reinforce that declaration. What can we do to protect our health as a nation and in our homes from those who wish to control the quality of our air and water? To find out, you need to visit airandaqua.com right now or call 612-767-2777. You will receive a free copy of our Constitution, a newsletter, and bonus items. airandaqua.com. Purify your life today.
The folks at eFoods Direct have saved you from the huge price increases on food by buying raw materials ahead and packing your supplies themselves. They haven't increased their prices on great long-term food reserves since last year. With the rising cost of raw materials and gas prices, they can't hold off any longer. As of July 1st, eFoods Direct is forced to increase their prices so they can still ship you the best storable food on the planet. Until the end of June, you can lock in the cost of your food at last year's prices by calling 800-409-5633. Your time is running out to build your supply with the best food on the planet at last year's prices with eFoods Direct. Call 800-409-5633. Prices go up at the end of June. Go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
Big Berkey water filters are in high demand. Storable foods are also in high demand. BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com has always kept our focus on the Berkey water filter products. But increasingly, our customers have been asking for storable foods. After months of research, BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com now offers great tasting, long-lasting, storable foods. These ready-to-eat meals are packed in airtight nitrogen pouches. All you do is just add water. And because they're sealed so well, they come with a 25-year shelf life. Combine our Berkey water filters, which are powerful enough to purify treated, untreated, or even stagnant pond water with our storable foods, and you have a winning combination. Remember, we offer free shipping on every order over $50, and GCN listeners receive 5% off all ceramic filter systems. Visit BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com or call 877-99-BERKEY. That's BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com or call 877-99-BERKEY today.
Strange days are here, my friends.
Strange days have found us.
They certainly have. Strange days
have tracked us down.
They tracked us down. They're going to destroy us.
They're going to destroy.
Can you imagine what's coming next? If we continue to let the TSA run around on the highways and bus stations and expand their groping? Well, the states are now trying to get their laws in line to allow this and expand it into school proms, you name it. All right, going back to Becky Aker, syndicated columnist, writes for some of the biggest publications in the country. This is a short segment, ma'am. Long segment coming up. You've got the floor. Chronicle and break down what they're doing, the whole constellation of abuse.
Well, TSA's excuse has always been that it protects American aviation. But actually, if you look at their charter, they are set up to invade all American transportation. It doesn't just end with planes. So that's why we've been seeing them out in buses and Amtrak. As you mentioned, they're going to school proms. They're also at political rallies. And that is especially chilling when you think that Obama and McCain both, when they were campaigning, TSA was at their rallies screening people before they were allowed inside. So what are we looking for in that instance? Are we looking for dissidents? Are we going to keep people out of rallies who disagree with the candidates? And this is, in fact, the whole purpose of the TSA, is to intimidate and bully us so that we no longer protest government's atrocities. And that will go for any atrocity, not just what they're doing at airports, but when they bomb innocent people overseas. Because we don't want to be on the no-fly list, we don't say anything. We certainly don't write letters to the editors, since we are very easy to track with our name and city then. This is why governments have always coveted, but very seldom realized, the sort of totalitarian power TSA currently wields. And that is, as long as you can search people, as long as you can intimidate and bully them anywhere, anytime, you have enormous power over them. Not only can you confiscate weapons, which is what TSA does at airports, so that they cannot rebel, but you can also have them so afraid of the humiliation of a public search, because there you are, singled out in front of everybody. Everyone's thinking, my goodness, what did that miscreant do? And you're probably thinking, goodness, what did I do? Because everybody gives the benefit of doubt to the government agents, never to their victims. So you fear that public humiliation, and there's also the very real threat of bodily harm. A lot of what the TSA is doing as far as groping people is hurting people. There's the example of the man who was suffering from bladder cancer and recovering. He wore a stoma bag. He repeatedly warned the TSA thugs that his bag would break. They'd break the seal on it if they continued groping him, and they did so deliberately so that he was soaked in his own urine before he got on his flight. That's just one story out of hundreds I could recite about the TSA's calculated cruelty to anyone that they encounter. It doesn't matter how old you are, as we saw with the woman in the wheelchair, 95 years old, and the TSA is humiliating this woman. Doesn't matter how young you are, they're groping 3-year-old children, and this is pedophilianism anywhere else. Why isn't it at the airport? So
they're taking the diapers off 1-year-old babies, and just to add here, the White House has said they want a no-gun buy list, where they just put you on list and can't buy guns without a judge, jury, or charge. You can't get off the list. And they're admitting, TSA, I saw Ridge say this 8 years ago, you'll have to get government authorization to have a job. And now they're starting that with the unions, where they run it through the TSA to have a job at a warehouse. This is a total internal passport takeover system. They know exactly what they're doing.
Absolutely. That is the TSA's whole purpose, is to foist a police state on Americans under the excuse of, we're protecting you. It's very, very scary when you witness these atrocities. There's virtually nobody in the country that isn't outraged by the treatment that Mrs. Reppert, the 95-year-old survivor of cancer who has leukemia, the abuse that this woman took at the airport. Everybody except the TSA is outraged by this. And TSA's response, we followed protocol. I mean, that should scare us silly, that this agency is so fearless that when laws prohibit what it does, when public opinion comes out overwhelmingly against it, when common decency dictates that
it's because it's a mission. It's a war. It's got to be carried out to fully federalize the country and link the TSA up with the threat fusion centers for the takeover. And then when you get any medical care, you run through TSA to make sure you're not a terrorist. And they brazenly do it to the heroes of 9/11, the rescue workers first, to be outrageous, and set the bar at an incredibly low level. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
We're on the march. The empire's on the run. Alex Jones and the GCN Radio Network.
This is Alex Jones with 5 good reasons you should consider buying a solar power generator. Number 1, new climate legislation